I'm Noah, and this is Analog Resurgence, and today we're shooting some black and white Super 8 film from PRO8mm. Hello and welcome to It's Gonna Get Super Hot in Here. Okay, tell me when this PRO8 has sent along some black and white Super 8 film, which is what myself and my friend Jordan will be shooting today. We've got the Nikon R10, which we're going to be shooting, and PRO8 has sent along a cartridge of black and white reversal Tri-X Super 8 film, and their newly released XX in Super 8 cartridges. And XX is another Kodak black and white motion picture film stock that has become super popular, which of course you would know, Jordan.
Of course. Yeah.
Hey guys, today we're going to be, I'm Noah, today we're going to be shooting film on this this camera, with black and white. Let's get to it.
We're also going to play around with syncing up sound with the Nikon, even though it's not technically like a crystal sync camera, and see what our results are. Hey everyone, so Jordan and I are going to shoot these two cartridges, one of Tri-X and one of XX, and then use the footage that we shot in order to also show off the differences between the two film stocks. But we had some exposure problems, so this stuff didn't come out looking quite as good as I had hoped for. So before I show off our sync examples, I want to touch on briefly the differences between Tri-X and XX, now that you can get XX for Super 8. Yes, that's right. PRO8mm has taken the wonderful Kodak XX film and exclusively started selling it in Super 8 cartridges. XX 5222/7222 stock has previously only been done in 16mm and 35mm motion picture rolls. And it's also become really popular for still photography as well, with people like the Film Photography Project putting out rolls of 35mm for stills cameras, and CineStill even recently releasing it in medium format. For Super 8, your previous choice for black and white was exclusively Tri-X, a 200 ISO film that is designed to be developed as a reversal to give you a projectable positive image. It's got a chunky grain that not everyone loves, and it might be a little off-putting to those coming from the finer grain color negative stocks in Super 8. Reversal processing involves a few extra developing steps to give you a positive image with Tri-X. You do have the choice of developing this stuff as a plain negative though, but this doesn't always improve the quality of Tri-X. PRO8 has a great little side-by-side comparison video between Tri-X done as a reversal or as a negative. Reversal gives the best results with Tri-X usually. It can have a chunky grain, but it's also got a good looking contrast when done as a reversal film, which makes it a good looking black and white film stock for Super 8. But now they've taken the XX film and put it into the Super 8 cartridges, which offers the versatility of a film stock that is usually processed as a negative. So there's some added flexibility here against Tri-X. XX has a really nice contrast, and also from what I've seen, a tighter grain as well, which does look great on Super 8. Even though XX is a negative film, my footage was processed as a reversal, and it looks to have a little more range with the shadows here in comparison to Tri-X developed as a reversal. XX in Super 8 can also look great as a negative, and is especially a solid option for DIY developing at home, because you can use standard black and white chemicals on this black and white negative film. XX shares the same 200 ISO as Tri-X, but with some added exposure latitude that you don't get with a reversal stock. So my samples in this video were processed as reversal. If you're interested in having it done as a negative, you can also contact PRO8 through their website. They've also got some detail on this film on their website blog as well, which is linked below.
You have 30 seconds of content?
Well, I can talk about stuff and then we can just
You didn't hear me. Do you have 30 seconds
we can
of content?
banter!
3, 2, 1, action.
Alright, so now we're past the first few initial seconds on the cartridge, which is usually just flares and stuff because there's a little opening at the beginning of the cartridge. And now, hopefully, I'm coming to you not live, but in sync on Super 8 Tri-X film. So this is the Tri-X black and white reversal stuff that's been around from Kodak for quite a few years now, and it is available through PRO8 here. It's a 200 ISO stuff. And now we're looking at the PRO8 22, which is Kodak's XX black and white stock that previously has not been available in Super 8, but now Pro8 is putting them into Super 8 cartridges so we can shoot it on that stock in this format. It's normally a negative film when we're shooting it in like 16mm and 35, but now we have the option of also shooting it or having it processed as reversal on Super 8. Yeah, okay. We're getting a little creative here now. This is still XX, and we're now overexposing by approximately a stock from what we were before. Before it was f4, now we're shooting at 2.8. So just a little comparison in a moment once we switch back to Tri-X about how it handles just a touch of overexposure. Punch it. And this is Tri-X shot at 2.8. So before f4, and now we're a little bit overexposed here. So just to compare exactly what the shadow would be like. We're shooting at a whopping 18 frames per second, which is the standard for Super 8. And we're going to hopefully just sync this all together by playing around with the speed of the audio, but also maybe potentially just like the speed of the video files themselves, and see what we can come up with. And it will truly be an analog resurgence. Yeah. I'll start that so it can start on you, and I'll set it up, and then we'll swap.
Go.
So then it ends on me.
Test.
Here we go.
Test. Testing. I am testing. We're starting the fade now.
Ooh, and now
why are we starting the fade now?
Jordan
Please, no, come back. Don't. Why are we starting the fade?
Noah.
Keep going.
Oh yeah, we have to run it to the end of the cartridge. Thank you for purchasing the 1973 Nikon R10 camera. The pro lineup of the Nikon Super 8 camera offerings. This Nikon camera proudly offers a 7mm to 70mm zoom lens, the ability to meter... Okay, let me explain my audio syncing process here. A few months back, I experimented with this old audio recording setup for Super 8 that didn't work perfectly, but it gave me a sync pulse for my footage. Because Super 8 doesn't run at a perfectly constant frame rate, you usually lose sync by just trying to match your audio up with your footage. I used this sync pulse to count the number of frames exposed over a few seconds, which should be about 18, but it averaged out to be something like 18.7. And then I adjusted the playback speed of my footage to match, and it all magically fell into place. So this got me thinking about how all you really have to do is just find that little adjustment to make on the playback speed of the scan, and you should be able to get sync pretty easily. Usually people will say do a slate at the beginning and end of your shot, and then in editing just adjust the audio speed. But we didn't do any sort of slate in order to use the most of our Super 8 footage, and I wanted to experiment with adjusting the playback speed of the footage just ever so slightly until it started to sync. So this footage was shot on the Nikon at 18 frames per second in the camera, then it was sped up by 10% in editing, and now I'm able to sync these 30-second long shots without the audio and video drifting apart. All in the same project timeline for this video, and meaning that synced audio with Super 8 can be achieved with just a little bit of digital fiddling. I still want to experiment with this a little bit more, but by just adjusting the playback speed of the video, I've managed to sync continuous shots of upwards of a minute in length. Wow, what a good time. Thanks for checking this out. Thanks for Jordan for helping out. Thanks for Pro8 for sponsoring this stuff.
I'm fading out now.
Everyone, thanks for checking this out. Thanks for Jordan. Thank you for Jordan. Thanks for Pro8 for sponsoring this. Check the links in the description for everything, and I'll see you all soon.